Nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody wants to watch me. I'm trying too much. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is garbage. Let me just cut this now. Hello world, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal, and I have spent the last 30 to 45 minutes trying to do a video. Have you ever pushed the record button, start the video, and then like sometime in 30 seconds in, 5 minutes in, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is garbage. Let me just cut this now. I've done that countless times. But what I realized was that I'm trying too much, And if there's one thing that I want this channel to convey in many different ways, I'm going to be talking about the importance of being authentic, the importance of being yourself. And I spent a good 5 minutes sitting here and thinking, nobody wants to watch me. Nobody wants to listen to me. I don't know why I'm doing this. And then I had to take some deep breaths and center myself. And then I realized I'm pushing this too hard. So let me just pivot and scrap what I had intended to talk about and talk more about what's happening right now, what's happening for me right now. And that is a struggle to be myself on camera, and not think too much about how it's going to be conveyed or received, because there's a lot of variables that I don't have much control over. But when we're trying something new, and this is the first time I'm really doing a channel, you feel a little bit insecure, you feel a little bit shaky when you're doing something new, right? And so I am a newbie, I am a beginner, and I'm going to give myself some grace, because why am I putting so much pressure on myself to make a video when it's not so much about how people receive it, it's more of how I feel in conveying it, And so that brings me back to the topic of authenticity. And true life practice is really about showing up as your most authentic self all the time. And that is going to look different from moment to moment, day to day. How I show up here today on this video may be very different in a different video. Who knows? Possible. But it's allowing for those differences. It's allowing for change. It's allowing for growth that gets you to that place of authenticity, And I think people can feel that, right? Like when somebody is expressing themselves honestly, and you can see that maybe there's times that they're being a bit vulnerable in the sharing of what they have to say, you can feel that if you have empathy, right? You can sense when somebody is uncomfortable but is still pushing through. That's me right now. That's me right now. But that's okay. So this video is actually just turning into a self-motivational speech to myself that hopefully you can gain some value from as well. I have a perfectionist streak in me. I am a Virgo. Some people say it's because of that. But ever since I was young, I've always wanted things to be perfect, to be right, to just be chef's kiss, And there's pros and cons of that. One of the pros is that you tend to strive for excellence And when you strive for excellence, usually the payoff is pretty big, you know? And even if you aren't getting 100% on that test or project or homework assignment, 95 is pretty good too. 90 is pretty good, right? So there is a balance that is required for people like me, if it's something like you, where you strive for excellence and sometimes perfectionism gets in the way of accomplishing or finishing a task or a project or something that you're working on. Here's what I remind myself: that it's okay to make mistakes, that we are all learners. We have been designed to learn. Human beings, we have pretty big brains and a lot of tools and resources to help us along the way, you know? So when it comes to something like this, where I want to just share and connect, and what I had previously thought I would talk about wasn't coming naturally. It just wasn't coming naturally. That's a sign. That's a sign when you cannot express yourself naturally. It's because you're too caught up in your head. You're too caught up in the thinking of whatever you are talking about, or thinking about the feedback or the response or how it's going to look or the outcomes. You're thinking too much. So that's why I wanted to just scrap the topic I was going to talk about, because I was thinking too much about it. And it got me a bit stuck in feeling that maybe I wasn't good enough, you know? That maybe I'm not that good of a YouTuber. But of course, these are things that when you are sitting in those feelings of not good enough, you have to find a way to pull yourself out of it. And the only way you can do that is by giving yourself some grace. And that may look like starting again. That may look like, let me just go ahead with it and see how it goes. It might look like reminding yourself, like I have, of your intentions, that you are wanting to do this. You're here willingly doing this, Crystal, right? I'm here willingly doing this, even if it feels uncomfortable. But it is good practice to feel uncomfortable. That's one thing that I didn't realize would be such a powerful lesson to learn, that getting uncomfortable is actually a liberating activity if you choose to approach it as such. You know, if I am uncomfortable speaking on camera, well, the only way I can get more comfortable speaking on camera is by speaking on camera, you know? So I am going to remember that whenever I am here and I've got the camera in front of me and I've got my intentions to share what's on my heart, that it may not come out perfect. It may not come out the way that I thought it would come out. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, this is about fostering compassion for oneself. And the only way we can get to compassion is if we first start practicing acceptance. Self-acceptance is a key element in becoming the person that you want to be, which is actually your true self. You want to be authentic. You want to be able to not have second doubts on expressing whatever it is that you're expressing, because your opinions are valid, your feelings are valid. So never let that feeling of I'm stumped, I don't know how to get through this, or I'm feeling a bit embarrassed, or I'm feeling a bit humiliated. Don't let those feelings stop you from continuing. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of myself. I've got through this video. It didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to be, but I really, really am committed to showing up for this channel, for you, because this is about connection for me. You know, I recognize the fact that I have a very introverted personality, and also when I am sharing personal stories, it's easier to do that with people I know, people who I consider family and friends, and sharing it with you all who are watching is new for me. So if you have stuck it out with this video, I want to say thank you for witnessing me. Thank you for encouraging me. Thank you for being here with me, because we're in it together. That's for sure. Much love. Again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.